Hey YouTube, this is Archangel for Truth, and today's video I'm doing pertains to the flat earther called Mad Mike and his failed attempt to go up in a rocket and discover what he believes to be the flat earth uh, idea. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I have some friends that actually are flat earthers, and I myself don't consider myself a flat earther because, well, I believe that it doesn't make sense to me that the earth would be flat. But there is scriptural reasons that people believe why it is they think that the earth is flat. And so talking to them is interesting at times because I do agree with what is written in Scripture, in the Bible, but I also have come to understand Scripture enough to realize that when Scripture is talking about something, you can't always interpret it in a literal sense. Scripture must be interpreted, yes, partly in a literal sense, but also in a spiritual sense and a symbolic sense. So sometimes Scripture is using symbolism to describe something, and so that's how I interpret Scripture. But ultimately, what my flat earth friends were feeling was they felt that the reason why Mad Mike's rockets never succeeded, they believe that the government sabotaged his rocket somehow. Now, I don't know if that's going to be true or not. I don't really see why the government would care whether or not the Earth was a sphere or just a flat circle. I don't see how it would benefit science in any way, shape, or form to tell us a lie about its shape, but whatever. Anyways, there's there are scriptures that flat earthers will use to establish their belief, and so I wanted to go over those scriptures with you, and maybe this will help people understand why it is flat earthers believe in a flat earth, and ultimately we can discuss the issue of whether or not the government would have a reason to sabotage Mad Mike's rockets and ultimately cause his death. So the first scripture I have for you is taken from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, and it says, "It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretch out the heavens like a curtain and spread them out like a tent to dwell in." So that's taken from Isaiah 40, verse 22. And there's another scripture that talks about it. It's taken from Proverbs chapter 8, verse 27, and it says, "When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. So I don't know exactly what it's referring to when it's talking about the face of the deep. Maybe it's talking about the ocean. I don't know. And there's another scripture taken at Job chapter 26, verses 10, and it says, "He has inscribed a circle on the face of the waters at the boundary between light and darkness." And so these are the main scriptures that flat earthers will go to in establishing that their belief that the earth is a flat circle, which is fine. I mean, if that's what they want to believe in, I believe everyone should be entitled to their belief. You know, just as long as there's not an expectation for others to believe that. Now, if what the scripture is saying here is to be taken literal, then and not interpreted from a symbolic sense, then I could understand, why it is that flat earthers would indeed believe that. I personally believe that the entire Bible is indeed inspired of God, so I'm not saying that these scriptures are not inspired. I'm not saying that I disagree with them. I'm just saying I'm not sure that the interpretation was meant to be taken in a literal sense. That's basically what I'm saying as it pertains to these particular scriptures that flat earthers will rely on. But now, it kind of surprised me, because when I was speaking to my flat earth friends, shall I say, they were quite adamant in their expression that they felt that the government had done something to Mad Mike's rocket to interfere with it and ultimately cause it to crash. So I don't know, is this something other flat earthers may feel? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about this, but ultimately, if that is true, what would be the government's purpose for causing people to be confused about the shape of the earth? Why would they do that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, for example, when you look at the magnetic field of a magnet, it stretches completely around the magnet, and it doesn't form a flat shape. It forms a spherical shape of magnetic field around the magnet. So we know that the Earth has a magnetic field, and certainly with the atoms being drawn together by the electrical of the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons, with opposites attracting, I would say that it kind of makes sense to me that the Earth would be spherical in shape, because the attraction of the atoms together would eventually form into a ball. It wouldn't form into a disc shape. That wouldn't make any sense. But that's my reason for believing that. I did have one of my friends that I had on Facebook actually blocked me because I dared to question his beliefs about the flat earth. So if you're a flat earther and you feel that Mad Mike's rockets were sabotage, please comment on this video. Let us know, why you feel that way. And if you feel that you have some sort of evidence in support of the flat earth, then, that's apart from scripture, then by all means share that as well. I'm an open-minded individual, except for I do believe 100% the scriptures are true. I just leave interpretation to God ultimately, and things I don't know or understand, I'll say I don't know and I don't understand it. So with that, please like and share this video, and let's start a conversation on this issue. And with that, I'm going to say God bless y'all and take care.